Buonasera and welcome to the very special edition of the On Your Head Son podcast. It's very special for two reasons. First of all, you've been waiting for it, you've been asking for it, and the time is now. It's the first time we have all four brothers together on the podcast. Woo! So everyone, say a big welcome to Chris Bunny.
Cheers, thank you everyone. Cheers, thank you.
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, pleasure to be on here.
How excited are you about being on this podcast?
I've been waiting my whole life to do this, really. I'm absolutely ecstatic, so excited. When you came to me with this idea, fire. Literal fire, yeah. So,
fire and ice.
Ice, exactly.
Perfect. What do you think is our limit with this podcast? Pete. Pete.
Yeah.
Good.
Sky,
the street. Yes, we have Pete.
880 views on TikTok. I think that's probably our peak.
880 views on TikTok.
That's probably where we're getting.
On the threads.
Absolutely.
On the threads.
One more question for you before we crack into the podcast. Who was your Premier League idol growing up?
Growing up, my Premier League idol was Graziano Pella. He was an Italian stallion, very relevant for now. One of the best looking people in the world, and ultimately scored the best over kick in the world, in my opinion, against QPR. So I'd say him based on just pure lust and love from my side.
Very good.
I really agree.
We love a bit of lust and we love a bit of love on this podcast. And Chris gave a little bit of an Easter egg away just there. I don't know if you heard. We promised an undisclosed location this week. A little bit of a clue. Matt, do you want to say what shirt you're wearing? Another little Easter egg.
Another Easter egg.
Yes.
I think I might have it, but I'm wearing a Fiorentina shirt.
Easter Bunny.
Andy.
I'm wearing AC Milan.
Wow. Well, I'm wearing a Napoli shirt and I'm drinking a Peroni.
And Chris is wearing.
It's England.
It's
England. It's on your head, son. None of that.
Chris is a Brit abroad, Brit abroad, and yes, we are in Italy. We are in the south of Italy, in Puglia.
It is the Italian 93rd kit, though.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
So that is the link.
Relevant.
Exactly.
Relevant.
Celebrating my mum's 60th birthday, so
happy birthday, Mum.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Cheers for listening, Dawn.
yeah, cheers on.
Yes, our one listener. Matt, how's your time in Puglia been? What's been your highlight?
Highlight was probably last night going into a little town nearby, El Salvador, and
El Salvador.
Brilliant time there. Just
Very good.
enjoyed it.
Andy, what's the best bit of food you've eaten?
I was going to say my best time, you know. First night we got here, we had a lovely pizza. I loved it. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, as we've been in Puglia and we've been indulging and enjoying ourselves, we haven't watched a hell of a lot of football this weekend.
No.
But what we have watched, we will talk about right now. And that is one game. And that is
The big game.
the big game.
The big game. Big tasty.
It was I believe last week we called it the Big Tasty with bacon and extra cheese.
And vegetarian special.
And that was Arsenal versus Man United, which finished Arsenal 3, Man United 1.
Something like.
Yeah.
Chris, how exciting was this game to watch?
It was all right. It was, it was an all right game. It was quite good at periods, but mostly it was fairly average, wasn't it? To be honest, Man U sat back, Arsenal passed it. That was it, really. Good game.
It was a very sideways game.
Yeah.
There was kind of nothing that really happened, bar a couple of penalty shouts, but bar that, it was a very dull game to watch. Dan actually left very near the end and missed the most exciting part. So yeah.
For a game with two 90-minute goals.
Yeah.
Poor.
Andy, would you say that Arsenal deserved to win?
No, but did United deserve to win either? I don't think so. So a draw would have been a fair result there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either team pushed forward and actually dominated the game. Both looked quite poor in possession, really, creating chances. So, yeah.
And Matt, a question on your favourite player, not Raheem Sterling, a certain Kai Havertz.
Kai
What do you think of
Havertz.
Kai Havertz in an Arsenal shirt?
Kai Havertz is unproven yet.
Donkey.
Yeah, a bit of a donkey. I think he just needs time. To say he's unbalanced for team is a massive understatement. He completely slows the play down at the moment. But then Arteta came out and then compared him to his wife and said it was a struggle with his wife the first time for him to conquer her. So once Havertz
Good use of word.
conquers Arsenal, the style of play, then he'll obviously learn and then he'll be amazing, just like Mikel Arteta's love life.
Okay.
It's good love life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one thing I want to
But I would say the game was very poor and Arsenal could not create a chance if they were playing for 120 minutes with Kai Havertz in midfield. They looked absolutely shook for ideas, and every time he got a bit of space, they were not going anywhere near him.
I think you were a bit harsh on him because every time he just got the ball, he went up.
Yeah.
To be fair, he at least got in some positions. He could have won a penalty. To be fair, it was overturned. But I think it still could have been given, and he was in the right position for it. So I'd say he's looking better than he was the previous 3 weeks.
I agree with that.
But yeah, they're still nowhere near as good with him in the side like they were. They were better last year without him. Sorry,
I agree.
You did feel a lot of the play as soon as he was in space and they could have passed him. They kind of paused for a minute and then we'll just go back.
he also did give away the ball for that goal.
Yeah,
He
did give away the ball.
did a very poor.
We did highlight him, but yeah, there was some poor mistakes.
We definitely are exaggerating about him. I think Arsenal overall look poor, and he's kind of just summing up how we're playing, very slow. And I think he is definitely a scapegoat, but he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good for sure. But also on the same side as him, going the other way, Anthony look equally as poor, I'd say. So yeah, two of the worst signings of the summer so far. Oh well, one was last summer.
But I mean, Arsenal won. They won 3-1. They're not playing well, but they've got 10 points. They've won 3 and they've drawn 1. So, what do you think? They have a chance this year?
I think Gary Neville was saying when last year they obviously kicked off so well, but they started stuff towards the end. If they're playing badly now, they're getting points. It's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah.
So I think from that side, they're probably actually better off doing it now. And they didn't have Partey. They're trying to get Declan Rice to fit in. I mean, he fitting in very well. Yeah. But they are still in that midfield. There's 2 new players, so it is going to take a bit of time. So they are looking better. But as you say, the games. I mean, they should have beat Fulham, but they've beaten Man U, who they could have drawn against. So to be honest, they're probably where they want to be points-wise. Performance, I think they looked a bit better when Fabio Vialli came on yesterday. But I think they'll be happy. I mean, pretty good start, isn't it? Still
3 wins and a draw is completely a very good start. A very good start. So yeah,
absolutely. And what can we say about Man United? I mean, from watching them, Ten Hag was supposedly amazing last year, revolutionised them. Yesterday they went to the Emirates and they looked like the worst team that were just sort of trying to hold on, dig in. I know they were missing a lot of their defenders, but I don't see what Man United's plan are. They look awful. Specifically their kit. Their kit looks awful.
That's one of the ugliest kits I've seen in the Premier League. I don't think there's one worse this year than that.
But
so the Arsenal fans compared that to Plymouth Argyle's kit, and it's not actually
that's a pretty good shout actually. That one too bad.
Yeah, it was poor.
No offence, Plymouth.
But as I mentioned, not just the kit, but their players awful. I don't know what the plan is under Ten Hag at the moment. The one silver lining was a cameo for 20 minutes from a certain Rasmus Højlund.
Haaland 2.0.
He looked pretty good, didn't he, Andy?
He did. Yeah, I mean, they didn't have anything kind of between the defence and the midfields, like building up Man United. So they ended up just kind of punting it towards like Martial and down the wings a little bit when they were getting frustrated. So actually having that focal point with Højlund. It was weird not saying Haaland, but he could actually run off a man as well and like, kind of hold it up, and he was a bit of a threat for Saliba and Gabriel. So I think from now on, Martial can't be starting another game if Højlund's fit.
He looks absolutely appalling.
Martial is past it.
He just shouldn't be the Man U top, really.
No. No, and they brought on Maguire and Johnny Evans at the back, so that can't be confidence for any Man United fan seeing them coming on.
The back four they finished with was Dalot at left back, Maguire and Evans at centre back, and Wan-Bissaka at right back.
There's not much to say about that.
I mean, what can we say about what is Man United's ceiling?
Man United's ceiling this year, I think, is third. And that's a very, very, very optimistic look.
Yeah, that's. They've
built
an attic on top of that ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't see them breaking into the top two at all. Are
you saying the top two? Are you ruling it as Arsenal, Man City? Do you reckon automatically? Do you think anyone? Because I think Liverpool could still get in there. I wouldn't say the top two for that.
I agree with that, but Liverpool ceiling I think is second. Man City's like kind of basement is first. To be honest.
Second to Man City.
So I mean, but I just can't see Man U finishing above Liverpool and Arsenal at all, and City. But I mean, I think looking at their display, they've obviously won 2 games and lost 2 games, and the 2 games they've lost are against against Tottenham and then Arsenal, so the 2 games in North London.
Yeah.
And they looked outplayed in both. Well, they weren't outplayed by Arsenal, but they just didn't offer much going forward at all. I know they could have scored. They could have solved this game as well.
Yeah.
They'd be saying it was a defensive masterclass and they hit him on the counter with Garnacho. I wouldn't say it was a masterclass, but yeah, it was literally only like an inch, and it was depending. And
it was great defending from Gabriel.
Oh, really good.
It was actually really thinking to run forward.
That's one thing you can say about Ten Hag. When he was actually on the counter, United did look a bit of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
But that is because they do have the talent with Fernandes, Rashford, not so much Anthony or Martial, but they do have that direct kind of counter-attacking once the space is there.
Yeah.
But having to build it in front of a defensive midfield, they just not creating space.
Casemiro still just doesn't look anything like what you think he did last year. Because he got skinned on multiple occasions, like yesterday as well, didn't he?
Yeah. But I do think he's getting left exposed though. I mean, you've got Eriksen and Fernandes next to him, and they don't want to defend.
True.
So I feel like you're just almost leaving him completely there, just almost against Odegaard, almost one-on-one about half the time. And it's like, well, Odegaard's got to run off him because he's 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And Man U could have won this game very easily as well. They could have nicked it,
but they're just so boring.
I mean, one of the most boring teams to watch.
Also, Ten Hag's comments after the game where it was like, should have been a penalty on Højlund when Thingy dragged him down. I think it was Gabriel when it just wasn't a penalty. Garnacho was actually onside. I mean,
I don't know how you just say that.
Just clearly isn't. I mean, you can have a go at VAR on a lot of things. The offside, it is categorical there that he was offside. There was the foul on Evans for Rice's goal, which wasn't a foul. Rice just wasn't strong enough. Simple as that. And he said it was their best performance of the season so far, which probably isn't wrong, maybe, but they've been rubbish. So it's not saying much.
Showing where they are.
If that's their best performance of the season, then that's worrying.
And then he also said, they asked him a question about Højlund, and then he turned it on to how good Martial's performance was, and it was one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
I know. Have you seen the thing with Sancho today?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, with
don't believe everything you hear.
That's bizarre as well.
He seemed like a bit of a broken tooth. You're not going to believe this. It's raining.
It's raining.
Julio.
That's
fine.
Carry on. Wind or rain,
we will keep going. Absolutely.
I'll go check.
You're going to check?
If we're still actually...
no, you can still see us. I mean, James, you're very illuminated, but that's fine.
I'm very illuminated.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
For our video viewers.
Yes.
Thank you.
Not our Denmark contingency on Spotify.
I've got a Denmark contingency. I'm coming to Copenhagen soon, so let us know who you are, and I will meet you for a pint, and you can meet the legend of the On Your Head Son podcast. Here we go. And then we can finally find out who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Nicholas Bentner.
Lord.
Outside of the game that we watched, I suppose the main thing to talk about was a hat-trick of hat-tricks. Son Heung-min, Erling Haaland. Don't know if you've heard about him. I predict him to be an up-and-coming player this year.
No.
One season
At the start of the season, we said he's going to score a lot of goals.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We get things right.
We did.
Here on the Onion.
What a prediction that was.
Good.
But the player that I want to focus on more is Evan Ferguson, who's 18 years old.
Yeah, unbelievable.
The
Phenomenal.
next Harry Kane.
Yeah. The next Harry Kane. No, that's a disservice to him. I think he looked unbelievable. And his second goal was actually Harry Kane, from 20 yards, 25 yards out, and just kind of bends it bottom corner.
It's the way that the ball moves in the air, the way he strikes it.
It's very clean.
So clean.
He was given a lot of space for that chance, but it was an unreal finish. I can't
yeah.
say about that.
He's looked unreal, but ever since he kind of came onto the scene. I think. Was it? Did he start last season? Did he come in under Potter, or was it deserved? Was it just deserved?
Near January after the World Cup last year. I think that's when he properly kicked on.
Yeah, he looks unreal.
It's phenomenal.
For 18
and it's a big win for Brighton. 3-1 over Newcastle, but people predict that to be a really, really good game. And Brighton took it by the scruff of the neck.
We saw the first 20-30 minutes of it, and it was a really good game.
Newcastle could have scored very early.
Newcastle it's a weird one for them. So they've won, one game? They obviously won 5-1, then they've lost 3 games after that. Who was it? City away, Liverpool at home, and they should have won at Brighton.
They've had a horrific.
It's a hard start, and
with Aston Villa as well.
I don't think in any of those games, even the Man City game, they weren't. I think they played all right. But
1-0 to City is not
exactly. I think they've not played badly, but they've just I don't know what's necessarily missed in those games. I just don't think they've had that final clinical piece really, which surprised because they've got all the players to do that.
It's almost like they used up all of their goals in the first game against Villa.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And then since then they found goals hard to come by. But moving on to Villa, so they have now. So they've lost 5-1. They won 3-0, was it?
I can't remember.
They lost. Then they won 4-1.
Yes.
And now they've lost 3-0.
Yeah. And also in the middle of that, in the Europa, they won 5-0.
So you don't know what you're going to get with Villa.
No.
It seems like.
I think their centre went off injured yesterday. I'm actually seeing Diego Carlos went off injured.
He did.
Well,
but they did play 3 at the back. So they played Carlos Torres and But no, so I mean, Liverpool just looked a little bit better. To be honest, from the highlights I saw, but again, we haven't really watched football enough this week.
All guessing.
So in which case, we're not going to go through the other games in detail. I was going to ask you one thing each. Chris, you can start. Seeing as you're an eager beaver. What's one thing you want to bring up?
One thing I wanted to bring up was about Luton Town. So it came up today. It's the legend who comes up with the best teams of the week. Garth Crooks will put any player in position. He made a quote which just pissed me off. He's such a lazy punter. He said he doesn't really understand Luton. He thinks what's the word he used? I think he just said it's crazy and he doesn't take them seriously.
And they'll be relegated by Christmas.
Exactly, and it's kind of like what do you do making those crazy? He's like they've earned it to be here. Like you can't then make such dismissive comment after 3 games and just they say Luton. I mean, they've played Brighton away, and then they've obviously played West Ham, and he just lost in. They lost 4-2 to Brighton, and 2-1 to West Ham. Doesn't look bad, but it's just lazy punditry. It's so hard to say. I think.
No, I'm going to shout out Garth Brooks as well here. He just likes to say something to get a reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
You see him when he's on final score, and he makes a point, and then afterwards he goes to this. He's really smug. He goes.
He does do a fast one. He does do a fast one.
He does, yeah.
He does a very fast one. I wish we could zoom in on the camera to see Chris's fast one. He's a very, very good Garth Crooks impression. Garth Crooks, we'd love you on this podcast to do a fast nod.
Is he similar to
not to have your opinions at all. Your opinions, just do a fast nod.
Your opinions are not professional.
Team of the week is shocking as well. Harry Kane is on a right wing back. Absolutely shocking. I wanted them to have Harry Kane on right wing back. It was an abomination.
That's a very good observation. Yeah. Andy, any observation?
Well, there was an Arsenal fan that headbutted Roy Keane after the Arsenal game, and his best mate, Micah Richards, came to confront the fan. Nice. So I think that's just fun. Yeah, that's the fun. Not fun, but not fun.
The Met Police are looking into it.
Maybe fun's the wrong word.
It's family fun, that.
Well, it's nice that Michael Richards backed up his mate. That's all I've got to say.
Is that the clip of him when he's got him up against the door?
Yeah. He's going up against the door and he just goes for that.
Yeah, no.
Perfect. And Matt,
Mine is a little bit of humble pie for myself. After the Spurs first game, I said Son looked completely out of place and really wasn't up to it this season. And even towards, actually the whole of last season, didn't look great at all. And he scored a hat-trick this week and looked really good. And actually the last 2 weeks, he's looked really good again and really kind of back to actually his former self, where he's actually running in behind and actually creating a lot of space for other people and creating chances for other people and now scoring for himself. So it's a little bit humble pie for myself, to be honest, and realise I don't know anything about football. And Antwerp is still rocking. That's all that matters.
Antwerp is still rocking.
I mean, they still conceded 2 goals. I think they'll be the most exciting team to watch really this year.
Yeah.
You don't know what bar Villa, you don't know what you're going to get. So yeah. What about you, James? What was your highlight or moment or whatever?
I'm going to take it away from the Premier League and I'm going to take it to Southampton. And I'm going to, because I just got outraged. I can't even say it. I can't believe that Gavin Bazunu is a goalkeeper. He is a really poor goalkeeper. Southampton, for those who didn't watch it, lost 5-0 to Sunderland. And
Sunderland, well played Sunderland.
We got relegated last year. Gavin Bazunu wasn't the reason we got relegated, but we would have had significantly more points had Gavin Bazunu not been in goal. And he was appalling again yesterday. There were just
basic.
It's not basic errors. It's not obvious errors, but just he should be saving at least 2 out of 3, and he saves like none of the 3 that were like savable.
Agreed.
And I worry for Southampton's chances going up just based on our goalkeeper, but nothing else.
He's good. I still rate him. I'm giving him a
He's
chance.
young. He's young.
He's young.
Same penalty against Cristiano Ronaldo.
Growing a beard
Wow.
as well.
Yeah, exactly, there we go.
But that's my point from the weekend.
Wait, you're just worried about the goalkeeper, about Saints?
Yes, just worried about the goalkeeper.
The team looks good.
Yeah, that's good.
Holgate's on great form.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah.
No, we'll be talking about Southampton in the Premier League next year, so long as they replace Bazunu in the January transfer.
Matt mentioned humble pie. An honourable mention for humble pie, Anthony Elanga. Scoring for Nottingham Forest.
1 goal.
One goal, 1 assist.
1 goal, 1 assist.
Both off the bench.
Exactly. You can't get into a team and not
He will be now.
You can't get into a team and not
By the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think the word humble pie is being overused in this podcast
I like
a little
it.
bit because there's no. I don't feel there's any pie being eaten for Anthony Elanga scoring a goal.
That's not.
Okay.
That's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
A brace, then it's humble.
You can start baking it.
Okay, it's
Sure.
preheat in the oven.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that far.
No, it's not even in the oven.
It's not in the international.
The oven's preheated. The oven's preheated.
But
The next flat out.
Yeah.
okay, well that's our expert analysis of what's happened this weekend. Expert. Yeah, there's a bottle opener just here.
You've got it.
Sorry.
Essential. Cheers.
Sorry. Peroni is needed. That's our expert analysis. As we are in.
Very good.
Can't work with these people.
Holiday mood.
As we are in Italy, we're going to do a fun little game where we're going to do our 5-a-side Premier League team of Italians.
Including a manager.
Including a manager, which means we might have to think on the spot.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we want to do it. Do you want to start with a goalkeeper each, or do you want to just go through one at a time?
Goalkeeper each.
Let's go goalkeeper each. Right. What formation do we play in our team?
You can do whatever you like.
Okay, fine. Okay.
No, let's not do goalkeeper each. Let's go through.
Let's go through teams.
Andy, would you like to start?
I will.
Sorry, yeah. Do you want it?
Down my notes.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, I should know.
Of course. Well, it's only 5 people.
Cudicini in goal. I couldn't really find another Italian goalkeeper until just before the podcast where you guys mentioned that one. I didn't think of him. Defender, I've kind of cheated. He's a CDM, but Jorginho I'd put in my 5-a-side team.
Okay.
As a defender. And then 2 midfielders, I'd go to Canio and Gianfranco Zola. And then striker, The madman, Mario Balotelli.
Mario Balotelli.
Yeah.
1 assist in the Premier League.
1 assist in the Premier League.
The most
Well, that's
famous
his
Premier League.
Have you?
That's very similar.
Is that very similar?
Very
And that would be my Italian Stallions team.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect.
Is
Do
your
you want to read that out?
And my manager, Mancini, I'm going for.
Mancini.
There's a lot of other managers I could have gone for, but I love Mancini winning the first Man City title. And he'd get the best out of Balotelli.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Perfect. So Chris is about to read out exactly the same team apparently. So
I also went for Cudicini in goal
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
similar. It was. Yeah, I don't think there's been any other that good goalkeepers in the Premier League, to be honest, who are Italian.
yeah.
I don't want a defender. I want a load of flair players, I decided. So I went for Zola Di Canio, similar to Andy, just for, they'll do whatever they want. Balotelli, 'cause you need a bit of a madness up there.
Mm-hmm.
But my change is I want Ravanelli in there. Because I didn't watch him live, but when I watched
Yeah.
Premier League years, I fall in love with him every time.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I think having all of them together is creativity non-stop.
Yeah.
You'll bleed goals, but you're going to bang him. And if you've got Cudicini in goal anyway, you're going to concede
Yeah.
goals. You might as well try and score more.
Hey.
I
he was a good goalkeeper.
I
He was a very good goalkeeper.
I remember on my PSP I had a goalkeeper howlers thing, which I used to watch. He featured on it a lot. He featured on it a lot.
He was like Calamity James
Exactly,
of
yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
But he was a very good goalkeeper for a while.
He was one of the best shot stoppers.
Yeah.
And then Czech came in and could actually dominate the box as well.
Perfect.
And I'm going, my manager, I'm going Ranieri. So I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ranieri.
So I just like Ranieri.
The Tinkerman.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
James, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. Why not? So I'm going to go for, just because I thought of another goalkeeper and I'm just going to say it, he was the worst goalkeeper in Premier League history. Massimo Taibi for Man United. Some absolute shockers.
The Tizio's best goal against
yes, I believe
was,
so.
yeah.
If you want to see,
I don't even know.
if you want to see some great highlights of
Goalkeeping.
horror, like mistakes, that is.
He was supposed to replace Barthez there, wasn't he?
He was, yeah,
that's
and
it,
he was the worst goalkeeper in history. He's probably here, actually, probably listening to us in Italy. Then I'm going to go for one defender and one centre mid. I'm going to go for Roberto Di Matteo. He's going to be a bit of a floater all over the place, and I am going to go.
And a goalie ball.
I'm going to go for Tonali already.
Oh.
The workhorse of the midfield.
Recency bias.
Fight the side, only the word goal.
And then I'm going to play with two Southampton forwards.
They're all mine.
In Graziano Pella and Manolo Gabbiadini.
That's where he went to buy a Lamborghini, steady ball striker. Name was Gabbiadini, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it's
What
true.
happened after that?
He scored them with his left foot, scored them with his right.
And when we win the FA Cup, we'll sing this song all night. Oh, man, we went to
He
Europe.
was onside. He was onside.
It never happened.
He was on side for the
He was
EFL
onside.
trophy.
We didn't win anything.
And he doesn't remember the first half of that game.
And
Not much of the second.
Or the second.
I'm going to go for, even he was a player manager, so he's going to be a sub as well. I'm just adding this. Player manager, Gianluca Vialli, just my manager.
Vialli. No, you've stolen all my players there. That's
I'm
all
pretty
I'm
sure
saying.
Gianluca Vialli is one of the only Premier League players to feature in an Oscar-winning film. I don't know if that's a true fact, but I feel like
What?
that's...
film was that?
Vinnie Jones.
No, he didn't
Vinnie
not an
Jones.
Oscar-winning
Was it
film. I
Snatch?
can't remember what the Vialli film was. I feel like I've been told that
He was.
before.
No. Vialli wasn't a film, but...
Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrel.
No, that didn't win an Oscar.
No.
He was. I feel like he was in one film and it won an Oscar.
But no, that's...
Life is Beautiful.
Yeah.
He's in that. I'm pretty sure he's the only Premier League footballer to be in an Oscar-winning film.
And to be fair...
we are not going to Google that, we're going to say that's a fact.
It is a
You've heard
fact.
exclusively here on the On Your Head Son podcast.
That's why I wrote.
Gianluca Vialli is the only ever Premier League player to win an Oscar.
No, not to be in an Oscar-winning film.
To win
He
an
didn't
Oscar.
win- he definitely did not win an Oscar. I will fact check that. James would have been excited. Gianluca Vialli, as well as being a player manager, did not win an Oscar.
Please go on the podcast.
You heard it here
We've got
first,
to
you
have
won an
it.
Oscar. Okay, Matt, are you going to copy some of mine, or are you going to go off piste?
No, so I'm going to copy a few of them. So my team was originally was Cudicini in goal, but I'm going to go Manole instead. Arsenal legend, absolutely amazing there. I think he played 2 games in the EFL and maybe 1 game in the Premier League, but I'm hoping
And
he
Sunderland, he
And
played for.
Sunderland.
played for Sunderland. I think he got a call-up once for Italy, so yeah, very good. And then a player who actually played for Everton in the late 90s before his rise to fame in the 2006 World Cup final was Marco Materazzi. So he's my centre-back, and he's a very solid, he's one of the best centre-backs around that kind of early 2000 period. He wasn't great at Everton. He got 3 red cards in 30 games or something like that. So I mean, it's very Materazzi-esque. So yeah, I like that. Then my centre mids, I went Di Matteo as well, and a bit of flair there with Zola. Very Chelsea kind of centre mid. And then up front, I've got a choice there. You've stolen all my strikers there with Vialli. Actually, that annoyed me. I'm going to go Gagliardini instead of Pella. I think in 5-a-side, I think he's going to be a bit of a better shot. But Pella's way better looking, and also his wife is bellissima. So yeah, actually no, I'm changing it. Graziano Pella. Graziano Pella is way
Based on looks.
based on looks.
Minted
And
as
his
well.
wife. And then actually, I'm going Don Carlo. Don Carlo is my manager.
Yeah.
One of the just best managers there ever was, to be honest. So yeah, really good. So
No Conte.
that's my team.
No Conte names.
No Conte, but he's just toxic.
Yeah.
He's a bit toxic, isn't he?
And
So,
no
yeah.
Daniel Osvaldo as well.
He was going to be Marzo. He was my other 11 alongside
Was
Sidoni
he
Zaza
Italian?
and
He was
Aquila.
No.
He's Italian.
He's definitely Italian. Yeah, he played for
He's a
Italian.
legend.
Daniel Osvaldo, Southampton legend, now plays in a rock band in Brazil.
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, Argentina, one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
So keep up the good work.
really good.
I love you on the podcast.
As we said last week, we do weddings and we need a rock band.
Yeah.
So,
We do need a rock band.
So me and Daniel Osvaldo come join.
Perfect. Well, that wraps up our Italian 5-a-side teams. Please let us know yours via all of our social media channels.
Comment down below.
Yes.
Link in bio.
Please, Mum.
Cheers, Dad.
Perfect. Well, that pretty much wraps up our podcast this week.
No
we
predictions game.
no
International break.
because it's an
England
international
will
break.
beat Ukraine. England will beat Ukraine is my prediction.
We are undecided as to whether there's going to be a
So
podcast next week. So if there isn't a podcast, then don't worry, we are not dead. We're just waiting for the Premier League the following week
Yeah. And championship.
and Championship.
Championship.
Precisely.
It's not that we don't care about international football. We just don't want to watch it.
I don't care.
Is that fair? You don't care.
No, you
No,
don't
the
care.
Ruggers is on.
And we're rugged.
Ruggers.
Rugged.
I'm not a big fan of Ruggers.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for listening and watching. If you have, you probably haven't. Thanks, Mum. Happy birthday again.
Birthday, Mum.
And remember, it's on your head, son.
Oh,
Go on.
not off your head.
Son.
Hey!